Hi, this is Lee of I'm Here, I'm Queer, What the Hell Do I Read? And I'm here in New York at the Simon & Schuster offices of my friend Laurent. Hi, Laurent.
Hi.
So you're the art director for, tell us your title.
I'm Laurent Linn, art director at Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers and Paula Weissman Books. And I want to show you something very special that we're working on now.
We're getting a sneak peek, right?
Sneak peek. Many of you might know the Keeping Quilt, which is now 25 years old, by Patricia Polacco. And this is actually, I don't know if this is first edition, it might be first edition, one of the original copies of the Keeping Quilt. And the quilt itself is something that has been part of Patricia's family for generations and generations, which is what the book is about. It's an actual quilt, and she talks about it in the way it's been handed down in her family. Very personal story. So the original story was a certain length. It was took the story through to the part where she talks about when she had a baby herself and wrapped her baby in the quilt. So this edition is the 10th anniversary edition, 10 years after the original publication date, where what Patricia did was she took the same story. It got printed in a brighter paper because even in those 10 years, printing techniques had improved. And she took the story from when she had her baby, her first child, which we're finding, and she added new material. So this is where the original book ended. This is where she picked up the story after 10 years from the original date and filled us in on her kids and the quilt.
So what had happened in those 10 years?
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And again, very personal story to her and her family, showing with her children. And when people passed away, the quilt was used as a way of cherishing that moment, and with births of new children. So this 10th anniversary book ended here with her children as grown-ups. And so for the 25th anniversary edition, which we're doing now, well, this is
coming out in August of
2013.
Okay.
This is not the final bound book. This is a proof copy that goes out in advance for reviewers to see.
Because we're recording this in February.
Yes, so this is sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
But
you won't see this until the book is out.
You won't see it until the book is out, actually. But so this will be a bound book, just as this. Patricia Polacco has picked up the story for the 25th edition again, and so we've added even more. So here's where the book ended for the 10th anniversary edition, and she picked it up again. What has happened in the past 15 years with the quilt and her with the story? So she takes it to school kids. Both of her children were married under the quilt, just as she was, and other generations in the past.
And what's really cool about this is that one of her children was a boy who married a girl, and one of her children was a girl who married a girl. And that's really lovely how they're really, they're given equal weight on the page and in her love and in her life and under the quilt. It's really, really beautiful.
It is. She tells her personal story in a beautiful way of all her family. And of course with her kids, it's very special for her to be able to show how the quilt has been a part of their lives as well. The quilt has gotten older and worn with the way it's been used for all the generations. So her children secretly help have a replica made of the quilt. And they give her the replica on her birthday. And so what Patricia has done with the original quilt is it's on display at the Mazza Museum in Findlay, Ohio. And that's where you can see it in person. And she continues the story of how this new quilt has a life with new life, and how it just keeps going even in her family as the original quilt has taken off into a much bigger realm with people who have read the book and know the quilt as what it is. And there's a lovely note by her also at the end. So this is what the 25th anniversary brings, and it's just like the quilt, the book grows and grows and the story of it grows. And so it's been a very exciting project to work on. I'm very proud of this.
That's really cool. So it's the Keeping Quilt by Patricia Polacco.
Yes.
And Laurent, thank you so much for giving us that sneak peek.
You're very welcome.